Okay, let's talk about something. Have you ever been told you think too much, that you feel things too deeply, or maybe that you just need to lighten up? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into why those very things you might see as struggles could actually be signs of a really rare and powerful mind.
I mean, if you've ever felt like your own brain is both your greatest asset and your heaviest burden all at the same time, then you're in the right place. We're going to look at how psychology completely reframes these experiences.
And this is really the core idea right here. What our society so often labels as a flaw, well, it might just be an indicator of a totally different kind of cognitive wiring. It suggests your mind might just be built for more.
So, first up, let's tackle a really common one, the always-on mind. You know that feeling, right? Like your brain is this runaway train of thoughts that just will not switch off, especially when you're trying to rest.
And what does society usually say about this? You get told it's just anxiety, or that you have a bad habit of overthinking every single thing.
But here's where psychology offers a completely different take. It's not a flaw, it's a feature of your brain's operating system. So when you find yourself replaying conversations, it's not necessarily just anxiety. It could be your mind doing exactly what it was designed to do: continuous, deep processing.
There's actually a name for this. It's called cognitive complexity. It's this incredible capacity to see the world not just in black and white, but in all its layers, patterns, and connections. And frankly, it's a hallmark of high intelligence.
So if this list sounds familiar, like really familiar, it's not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that your mind is simply working overtime, constantly analyzing and making connections that most people they just overlook them. And all of this constant processing, it leads us right into our next point, what's sometimes called the burden of awareness. This is what happens when you don't just think more, but you actually see and feel more too. Oh, this is a classic, isn't it? You've probably been told your whole life that you're just too sensitive, that you feel too much, or you take things way too personally.
Now, the reframe here is so powerful. It's not a character flaw, it's a neurological trait. Think of it like this. Your nervous system is like a high-resolution screen in a world that's mostly standard definition. You're just taking in way more data, both sensory and emotional. Psychology actually has a term for this: high sensory processing sensitivity. And listen, this isn't some disorder, it's a biological trait. It just means your brain processes everything: sights, sounds, emotions, with a lot more depth and intensity. It really is like having a 4K brain in a standard def world. Now, this heightened awareness is a total double-edged sword. On one side, it can lead to incredible insight and empathy. You can see the truth behind the words. But on the other side, it can create chronic stress because you're processing reality on a level that's just so much deeper than those around you. And when you're processing everything with that much intensity, well, it leads us to another really misunderstood behavior: that deep, almost physical need to just be alone. So people might slap a label on you, right? You're antisocial, shy, or maybe even cold, just because you choose to be by yourself instead of at a party. But again, that's just the surface story. The key, and this is so important, is that it's not about avoiding people. It's about avoiding the mental drain that comes from shallow interactions. For a deep mind, small talk isn't rewarding. It is absolutely exhausting. Your brain needs something called cognitive quiet to really function at its best. It's in that quiet space that you can connect ideas, reflect, and solve complex problems. And that's just impossible to achieve when you're constantly surrounded by social stimulation. You see, this need for solitude isn't some kind of social deficit. It's an intellectual necessity. Your mind isn't empty when you're alone. It's finally getting the space it needs to do its most important work. Okay. Finally, let's look at one more trait that's often mistaken for hesitation or even weakness, and that's a very deliberate slowness to react. While everyone else is reacting instantly with the first thing that pops into their head, you pause. And this gets misread all the time as being indecisive or lacking confidence or just being slow. But that pause, it is not a sign of weakness. It's actually one of the most advanced functions of an intelligent mind. You're not hesitating, you're deliberating. You're running simulations, weighing the consequences, and choosing a thoughtful response instead of just an automatic reaction. In psychology, they call this cognitive inhibition, and it's the incredible ability to create a mental gap between something happening and how you react to it. It's the exact opposite of being impulsive, and it's at the core of emotional regulation and strategic thinking.
This capacity to pause, for control, and for deep thought, it's a theme you see again and again in the psychology of high-functioning minds. It's proof that real strength is often quiet, controlled, and very, very intentional.
So if these struggles feel deeply, deeply personal to you, please understand they are not signs that you're broken. They are signs of a mind that is wired for more. This is the price you pay for seeing, feeling, and thinking on a much deeper level than most.
So the final question isn't about how to fix these traits. The real challenge is learning how to protect them and figuring out how to leverage your unique mind in a world that wasn't really built for this kind of depth.